Hi and welcome to the first blog for this RBS number 3. This is the baseboard I'm using. It's 450 by 300 by 40 deep. It's a chopping block and I thought it was a very nice dark colour. It all set off the copper really nice. As usual, I'm using 1.6mm copper for the tracks and 2mm copper wire for the track supports. Got a different motor and gearbox this time. This is a 12 volt DC motor. It's a 1024 step down, so on 12 volts it will run at 10 RPM. So inside here is the gearbox. It's a little bit more noisy than I imagined, so I'm going to put that into an enclosure, Ep.1 electronics project box, which I will disguise and hopefully make it look nice and pretty. So the only thing poking out will be the rotating spindle. It's 10 RPM, which I've done some trials, and it's a little bit slower than I imagined. So I'm going to speed it up a bit. Probably use a couple of gear wheels to make it go slightly faster. But then, in order to slow it down again, I've got a speed controller, which I'll put a knob on it as well, in order to run the motor not quite so fast, which will make it quieter, and then use the gears to kind of speed it up a little bit. 12 volts will go in through a panel mount DC connector, and I've got a couple of switches, on-off switches. One will be to power the motor, and one will be for something else, and that's all I'm going to say now. The something else runs on 5 volts, so I've got a 12 volt to 5 volt DC step down converter. This comes with a couple of USBs on the end. Got some feet in order to put underneath the board, keep it slightly off the table. I've also got this 3/16 copper brake pipe, which cuts up really nicely. It does polish up, so you can get rid of this writing. I've got a straightening tool, I've got a bending tool and a cutting tool, so I'm probably going to make the large frame out of this, the supports out of that, and then the copper tracks out of that. As usual, the balls I'll use will be 1/2 inch stainless steel. And then I've got a series of tubes, and this is 5mm tube with a 4mm bore, 4mm tube with a 3mm bore, 3mm tube with a 2mm bore, 2mm tube with a 1mm bore. So various tubes to step it down from the motor to the axles that I want. And a little bit of copper flat plate that I'll use probably to collect the balls and mount a few things. And then finally I've got this rather nice copper chain, 10mm wide. It fits nicely onto these cogs, and this will be for the ball lift. I've already made a prototype trial here, which lifts up the balls, and that is what I'm going to use on here in order to take the balls from the bottom to the top. So that's everything I've got. I spent the last couple of weeks working out what I'm going to do for this one, deciding I was going to go for a chain lift this time, and buying the cogs, the motor, the gearbox, the electrics, and making a small prototype to make sure that it actually works. That's when I found the motor was a little bit more noisy than I expected, so it's going to go into the project box to keep it slightly quieter. So thanks for watching. See you on the next time, when hopefully I'll have actually started some work. Bye.